Until recently, there were more requirements to own a dog in Ohio than a tiger. And you may be surprised to know just how many tigers lived here.
We got more tigers in the state of Ohio than there is left in India.
So when the new year arrived, it became illegal to own wild animals without a permit and registration.
A 2 News investigation found there are at least 50 registered wild animals right here in the Miami Valley and hundreds more scattered across the state. And Natalie Tendall discovered many of their owners are now breaking the law. Tonight, she's asking whether that new law designed to protect you is doing enough.
You may remember these images from 2011 when nearly 50 wild animals, including lions, tigers, and bears, were set free from a Zanesville farm and eventually shot to death. Now, a new law aimed to keep you safe and informed about wild animals in your neighborhood is in place. But I found the state knows of many owners who refuse to follow it.
The animals at zoos are miserable.
If you pass Daniel Chambers' home, you definitely know he has some unusual pets. Locked away in his backyard is a tiger, 3 bears, and a mountain lion.
That look like a dangerous animal to you?
The problem is these pets are now illegal for Chambers to own, and he knows it.
Nothing I have here is compliant.
State law says if an owner wants to keep their wild animals, they must do 2 things. First, register with the state, letting authorities and their neighbors know what animals they have and exactly where they are. The second, get a permit, sometimes hundreds of dollars per animal, along with liability insurance and proper caging.
She's a bear.
Some Miami Valley residents gave up their wild animals instead of complying with the new law. This alligator was taken from a Huber Heights home in June, and this bear was taken from a Covington backyard in July.
They're a part of me.
Chambers is breaking the law. He registered, and the state knows he has Canyon, Bamira, and his bears, but he refuses to get the permits.
So you did the registration, but you didn't do the permits.
Can't do the permits. Can't afford them. I'm a blue-collar worker. I've got a family.
2 News Investigates found Chambers is not the only one breaking the law. According to numbers we obtained, the Department of Agriculture, which is responsible for enforcing the law, knows of several other wild animal owners who are not in full compliance. So we asked spokesperson Erica Hawkins why they're not doing anything about it.
You know, we know that we're going to have to take action to make sure that, you know, those animals are secured and that situation's dealt with.
When will that action be taken?
That's going to depend. I think that there are situations that are going to be more pressing at first, but the other thing to keep in mind is that there are a lot of unknown animals out there too.
Hawkins says it's a slow and deliberate process, and 2 News Investigates found it's a pretty expensive one. So far, the state has spent $2.9 million on this temporary holding facility for confiscated animals.
Is the state going to need to spend more money to make sure that this is working properly?
I think that remains to be seen. The problem with a program that's starting up from scratch, it's never existed before, that we've never had to enforce at this level before, is that you can't know how much it's going to cost.
Well, Hawkins says this law will keep you safe and let you know what wild animals might be in your neighborhood. Chambers thinks it's a knee-jerk reaction to a very rare incident.
Everybody in the state that own these animals, we were all law-abiding citizens. But now we're criminals because we can't afford these ridiculous upgrades.
I found there are at least 4 bobcats, 9 alligators, and 5 cougars registered right here in the Miami Valley. Are they in your neighborhood? You can find out now on WDTN.com. We've created a searchable database for you. Just look for this story under the Investigations tab. Natalie Tendall, 2 News Investigates.